Alright, Presage quest came out today. Gonna do a quick run through of it. See if it's any different from what I remember from the first time that I did it. Got that up on a VOD, I think, earlier on my Twitch channel. Gonna check that out, but expect it to be a bit different, and I remember actually where some of the little collectibles are, like one of the ghost shells, a floating callus head, or some kind of stuff that I know, and some logs, I think, that I'm sure are part of some of the triumphs and the hidden stuff in this mission, and I hope that I can collect them now because I couldn't in the first version. Either way. Just on my hunter right now. I'm usually a titan, but I'm my hunter because pinnacle grind. I do it all 3 characters. Start my hunter, go to my warlock, and my titan. And you know, new Presage quest, might as well use the new exotic.
Several months ago, a Cabal vessel bearing the name Glycon disappeared near the reef. This ship matches its description and heading. So far, our hails have gone unanswered, and the distress signal continues to loop. You're clear for live-fire engagements. Board it, and find our missing guardian.
Alright, well, obviously you drop off here and then you're gonna go off to the right. The door is broken. We need to unlock it from the inside, so we'll go around the side. Forgive me if I take a little extra time to investigate, because I do want to try to find some of the secret little knickknacks, and I mean, that'll be in the video as well, so I might as well. Also, do forgive me if my jumps are shit, because I am a titan, not a hunter. I feel like I need to state that.
There's a distortion in the feed, no frequencies. Like ripples meeting conversation. Executing trace. Stand by.
Now, I know that this is one of the logs. I'm just not sure if I could pick it up or how I'd pick it up. Guess I can't. Pretty sure this is also a thing that you should pick up or be able to pick up. Maybe I have to do this on the class that I did the original quest on. Unsure. Either way, we're doing it on this first. Then I'll go back and do it again on my other characters. There's a couple bits of jumping puzzles and a couple just general puzzles.
There's an open patch into the ship's computer. Perhaps courtesy of our lost friend.
But other than that, it's a very straightforward kind of path. You just follow the very linear path on the way to where you need to go. I would just say flip every lever that you find and go from there. And there you go. Just opens up the entrance. Not sure why, or maybe it's instance-based, where it's like each character can unlock through the area. So like if I were to go back on my Titan, since I already unlocked this on my Titan, maybe it'll be open. That'd be interesting. Indeed. So this is one of the mechanics.
Harmonizing with the nearby concentration of darkness.
Osiris finish. So one of the mechanics of this whole thing is that you see these spores, you can shoot them, and if you're next to them when you shoot them, or if you walk into them as you shoot them, you'll get the, I don't know how to pronounce that, but I'm going to say it's Eogor Link. And you can walk through those barricades. That'll come up a lot in this run, or I guess all the runs.
Glycon navigation system marks their destination as an anomaly. left in the wake of Moss's disappearance.
It is quite the long mission, so this might be a longer video. So feel free to skip around. Well, it's interesting. When you get the spike completely maxed out, I guess it makes a little sound cue. And gives you a visual indicator. It's quite cool.
Guardian, you're not the only life sign aboard. I see at least one other. It may be our missing friend. It may not.
But more or less, you're just kind of running across the areas that it leads you to, finding a lever to open a door like this door is previously closed. To find one of these things, I'm popping it out because I know that on the other side of this, there's one of the doors that won't open unless if you have the junk. It's like here, I'll let the buff run out, and you'll see. Usually there's this kind of force field that when you touch it, you burn. And to get through it, you need that buff. I guess it requires a little bit of speed as well. Another log here. Again, I assume that we'll be able to pick that up at some point. And here's where the other part of the, or the next mechanic comes in play, is that every once in a while you'll see these little cells, and you have to shoot them to open up the door. So usually there'll be another accompanying cell, so like obviously this one's sealed off and you couldn't shoot it, so you have to pop the cell closest to it to open up like a door. I have to imagine that eventually there will, whenever the master version comes out and the legend version of this, since there will be those kind of versions, there are in the triumphs, eventually we will have champions in here, and I guess that's why this is a scout rifle that chains precision blows, not precision kills, but precision blows, so that you can easily dispatch barriers. Quite nice. Although I'll still probably use a sniper.
Scribe, translation as follows. Today, Callus graced the Glykon with his presence and gazed upon the anomaly. His counselors prepare the exhibition chamber with gold from the Castellum. They are confident the crown is ready. The end will lay eyes upon him and weep at his magnificence.
This part is a bit tricky, and I'm not sure if there's a good way to do it, at least without dying. But the whole idea is that this is a big trash compactor, and when you start it up, the floor will open, and you have to shoot out grates and look for 3 fuse cells. And I'm pretty sure I remember where they are. I think obviously there's one. Not to mention that it just throws those guys at you. Just thinking for when I do this solo flawless, I wonder how I'm gonna get around that. But luckily the screebs, those little explodey dudes, they only spawn once. Oh, this is still closing. Well, you get to see what happens when you get swashed. Then it resets and then you can go again. As far as I'm concerned, there are 3 fuses in here that you have to shoot out, and they reset every time that you die, but the grates do not reset, so you can always shoot off all the grates first. Obviously there's 1. There's 2. Then once, apparently I hit all 3 somehow, and I didn't realize it. Once you hit all 3, one of the trash compactor will stop at one of these red highlighted squares, and you can drop down.
Ship's passageways no longer connect as they should.
Got another log here that I'm sure that we'll be able to pick up at some point in time. Match game isn't on, at least in this version, so I can just pretty much brute force the shields.
We must not. Forward. Guardian, I've pieced together another of Armsat's records. It reads, Tragedy of Silence. He tore the wilting failures apart himself. The connection is strong, but the darkness does not speak through them. An ocean without wind. Even the Lightbearer could not coax it to awaken.
There's a couple areas where you do have to fight, like this is another one of those areas. Nothing too difficult, not at least until you get to the basement. Generally safe if you can get up here. That's what I was waiting for. They will spawn. They're yellow bars. They do hurt. Honestly, if you're walking into this and you're not with like me trying to use the rifle, just use Anarchy. That's not fun. It's interesting. I was able to get that to proc. Bomb this guy.
Hangar systems are intact.
All right.
Why didn't they try to run?
Hold on. So the normal way is to... Okay, yeah, no, this is the normal way to go. For a second, I thought there was an alternate route. And for sure, this is 100% going to be part of some kind of puzzle. No clue what it does. No clue how to activate. Also, I should add that, yeah, that was just Cade 6. So this ship is definitely haunted. And when I ran this the first time on my Titan, I'm not sure if the line read recently, but it was Gaul. Gaul spoke. That's certainly interesting. And I should also add that there's plenty of doors in this that look like they could feasibly open. So I certainly expect there to be a lot more in this area. Just this base mission. Maybe we won't get it this week. Maybe even in the next couple weeks. But for sure, this is not the only time we'll be going here. This puzzle, this part of the puzzle took me the longest just because I kept doubling back for some reason. You're supposed to shoot that out, and it temporarily disables the electric wire here. See, obviously this little fuse cell, can't shoot it. It's telling you to look around for another one. Disable it. Although on second thought, actually, that monitor back there might not be part of a secret puzzle, because they are here too. I don't know, it just felt so out of place, and the asset was such a high quality. See if I can remember what to do here. There we go. That's what I missed. Another whole lever in that area, which then unlocks the door so that you can get the spores and pass through. Oh, see, I didn't get it. If you touch it though, after you don't get it, you will pick up the buff. You have 15 seconds, so as long as you're decently fast about where you're going and you know at least where you're going, you should be able to make it. This is 100% a bait. If you go stand on that, here, I see if I can proc it. It just opens and it drops you to your death. So, I guess that's just a way to ruin your flawless if you're not paying attention. Not that I have flawless, but just something to point out. That opens up this door. Should get the spores. And then go and drop down this hole over here. Which is sort of a maze. I'm pretty sure I explored the whole thing on my first run through, and I can guarantee you that there's nothing down here except for a couple captain's logs and maybe a one of the secret hidden collectibles. But again, I'm not sure if we can collect them now or later, or what's the deal with that. I would say it's easy to get lost down here, but it's all just kind of one big circle. This, you just take the first left down straight the hallway, then follow it until you get past the door. We arrive back out in this room, but this door's open, I believe. Grab it from here, grab the buff from here.
Armsod kept notes on experiments as well. It seems that Scorn exposed to the anomaly all suffered contiguous neuron death. It consumed their minds. All but one who spoke with many dead voices. This survivor would become the centerpiece of their studies.
Ah, it's in here. Forgot. Look at another instance of, hey, I know what to look for. I need to look for a fuse cell to open this door. Obviously to get the spores, to get through the next door. It's all very linear. Which is good. I quite like that, actually. Compared to something like the Whisper mission, or I guess Outbreak is the best example, where it just kind of tells, it doesn't really tell you anything, and you have to more or less guess. So obviously there's the ghost shell here. I want to take note of it. It's mentioned even at the end of the mission. Osiris mentions if we can recover the Guardian's ghost, because obviously we're tracking a Guardian here. Guardian signal, a help signal from the Guardian. A Guardian, I should say. But for some reason, cannot collect it. No interact button. Again, it's worth restating, but I'm unsure if that's because I'm on my Hunter, and I did this version on my Titan. Maybe I have to do it again on a character that I've already done it on. At which point I'll figure out when I do my flawless run of this. I'm actually unsure what the purpose of this room is. Oh no, that door opens. No. Yeah, some rooms I'm very unsure of what they do, because obviously that's quite... I don't want to say useless, but... like, that's not the main way that you're supposed to go. This one is, I think, the only part that anyone could describe as difficult. It's just a bit of timing. Start off by popping that. Getting into here. Into this. Popping this. To refresh your buff. And go around. Interesting. See, yeah, last time I got a Gaul line and I think a Cade 6 line. Now I've got a Callus line and a Cade 6 line. So I guess there's different dialogue. I have heard along the grapevine that there are different dialogues for how many squad mates you have with you. As much as I love to use the Dead Man's Tale, it's not very practical here, as Anarchy just beats it out almost every time. If you don't mind, I will be switching to that. Although... 2 lights, I wonder. I guess there's maybe a third that we have to unlock to get through that door. But this is the boss arena.
Put this decrepit creature to rest.
I didn't think they would respawned. Well, that kind of ticks me off. I'm already red barred. It's odd. Oh, I guess the guy in here moved outside. It perplexes me a good bit of how They just constantly respawn. Like, they don't respawn here on the first wave, but they will respawn, I guess, on the second. Wither Horde might also work pretty well. I'd have to see what that would do. I guess it doesn't use power, so certainly have its upsides. And sometimes you do lose sound on your SMG, which I think is very odd. Now here, let me try this. Let me go down here. So they don't respawn unless if I damage him and then come back up. There we go. This is only a couple base ads. No, chieftains. That's what they're called. Chieftains. No chieftains on this round. Just the two that usually guard the panels and the one guy in here. Which makes me think that this is a bug and not necessarily a feature. But maybe it's like you're not intended to be able to jump back up here. So when you do, it thinks that you're going again to unlock the downstairs area. Ah, see, there's one again. Like, sometimes I just don't understand where they come from. And sometimes they're just red bar without much explanation. But alas, that is destiny. I'm just gonna play around in this pipe here, see if I can get them to trigger the respawn. Okay, so they didn't respawn. There we go. Also, it doesn't help that there's a distinct lack of a radar. Although I guess I should be used to that playing GMs. Very simple yet effective strategy. Oh, I see they're spawning again. And it was just the Ravagers. So maybe it is intended.
Guardian, this anomaly left in Mars's wake. I've seen it and others like it. Too many scorn for an active Guardian. In place of each world the darkness stole.
Probably cut that down.
Of our heliopods. Callus meant to commune with the darkness. Faint traces of light. That thing was a Guardian. Way too late. Far too late. Take the rifle. It was offered, was it not? Better in your hands than left for another. I'll speak to Savala about authorizing exploratory outings. If we can recover our lost friend's ghost, we may learn more of how he died. Return to the city. We must assess our findings.
Hence the ghost part that I mentioned when I saw it. All right. Killing Wind, Light Mag, all board. Pitted Stock I know is a good roll. Dropped Powerful. Interesting. That's not a Pinnacle. But that is not either. Interesting, it didn't drop me a Pinnacle. Dropped me a Powerful, but not a Pinnacle. Either way. Just a quick little video on finding the Dead Man's Tail. Obviously I'll be using this one just because it's the it's the random rolled version instead of this kind of shitty one. Either way, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye bye.